I've known Thomas since the fall of 1974. And that was about 46 years ago. Thomas was a junior in high school. I was a freshman basketball coach and school teacher my first year out. And that's how I knew him. Since then, I was Thomas's coach, his teacher, his co-worker at Brian Foods, a neighbor, and most of all, I was a friend of Thomas.
Yeah.
I never will forget the friendship that we've had over this lifetime.
Yeah.
Tom was, as a teenager, he was a solid teenager with good manners and a good work ethic that followed him all the way through life. And I can guarantee you, Joe Thomas and Della Mae done a good job raising him. And I'm sorry.
No, they put it there for me, but I know I didn't need it.
In the classroom, Thomas was a good student. On the basketball court, he was a team leader and a great player. He was a pleasure to teach and to coach. And the 1975-76 season, which was Tom's senior season, was the first year I coached. Here's a picture of that ball team.
Wow.
And if any of y'all would like to see it afterward, there's a few folks here. Kenneth's in there, and I thought I saw Eddie Charles pop up back there a while ago. There's several of them pictures on there. But that team that Thomas was the captain of in 1975-76 won 32 ball games and lost 5.
Oh, wow.
A good record. And it wasn't my coaching, because I didn't know a thing. I just started. I'm telling the truth, man. And I'm going to tell you something else. The next year, if Tom had been with us on the 76-77 year, I think we would have won the state championship. Kenneth, we just needed a little more help there. Okay, at Brian Foods, Tom was a very dependable co-worker who applied himself and his abilities to his abilities. His potential, he did what he could do. He was a good worker. He had good work ethic. He was promoted several times. I remember him starting out in shipping and ended up a shipping clerk, and then he got promoted to a supervisor. And I worked with him, and he was solid as a rock. Bonnie, there's one thing that Thomas told me after he got sick and couldn't work anymore. He told me he was going to write a book about Brian Foods. And he said he was going to write a chapter on me. Did he ever write that book? Okay, good, because I didn't know what he was going to put in. All right, I got one or two more good things I want to talk about with Thomas. One or two of them's kind of funny, but anyway, I think I need to cover them if I get my paper open. Over the last several years, Tom and I would talk a lot. Now, y'all know Tom done most of the talking and I done most of the listening. And he would talk about anything. He was good, and I think he probably had a little extra time. He told me he'd been going through his family tree and he'd been going through mine, and he thought we were kinfolks. I hadn't figured that out, but that's what he told me. Now, about a year ago, him and Danny needed a little help put some fertilizer out there on their farm. So I went out there and helped them, and I noticed some of you folks in here are farmers, because you're going to know what I'm talking about. They had put up a hog wire fence. And I asked Danny and Thomas, I said, that fence up there, y'all got the wire on it upside down. You know, hog wire is supposed to be the little part down at the bottom where the pig can't get out, and the bigger part up the top. Well, they had it upside down. I said, who put that fence up? They said, Kenneth. But I want to tell y'all that Tom was as solid a guy as I ever knew. In this obituary I read about all the things that he did in the community, he was a good Christian community man, a good neighbor, a good friend, and I will miss him dearly. Thank y'all.